Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining me once again on this 3 Houses Pacifist playthrough. Chapter 14 is another difficult map, but its solution is a lot more complex than the previous chapter's fly skip. This is because the initial victory condition is to rout the enemy army, which is more numerous than ever before. I say initial because it's possible to change that victory condition to defeating the boss, which is much more preferable. Let's see how that works.
Report.
This map is loosely divided into 2 lanes. Byleth and 2 others are deployed along the right lane, while Claude and the rest are deployed on the left. The left lane is packed with enemies, so we don't want to approach the boss from that angle. The more sparsely defended right lane allows us to manage enemy HP and movement much more effectively. We want to move most of our units south and east for these reasons. However, we can't completely abandon the left side. If we do, enemies will advance onto the pink tiles, breach Garreg Mach, and hand us a defeat. Fortunately for us, the pink tiles are arranged in the exact formation that Impregnable Wall works on. By using Fortress Knight Alois as the wall setter, along with 3 healers, we can body block the enemies for several turns. The enemies can't seize on turn 1, so there's no need to fight them immediately. Because of their movement spells, Manuela, Flane, and Linhardt are the healers we've brought along. They can move allies into spots that let them contribute immediately, usually by applying gambits. That's what Seteth is up to, using an accuracy ring to boost reliability. We've already seen how Ashes and Dust is a powerful lockdown tool with a huge area of effect. It's so powerful, in fact, that Claude has to be walled to nerf his own damage here. We'll need to gambit these 2 enemies twice, and that would normally kill them. Annette and Seteth have both moved obstacles out of Byleth's way. After a full move, she's at the edge of Marianne's dancing range. Miss Edmund has also acquired movement +1. This dance does put her in range of an archer, but his hit rate is extremely low due to Marianne's avoid skills, the 3 range penalty, and being rattled by Ashes and Dust. Marianne is pretty safe here.
What?
On odd-numbered turns, 2 Falcon Knights and a Paladin reinforce the Imperial troops. They move before anyone else on the map, and they tend to charge straight for the pink tiles, with a few exceptions. Annette takes a hefty hit, but she won't be required to do any more enemy phase combat. Marianne dodges with style. This onager is an inaccurate but powerful nuisance.
Allied soldiers are making preparations for the plan. Protect them.
Claude's plan here is the key to our victory. One component of changing the victory condition is to safely deliver the ally swordmaster onto the blue onager tile. This is easier said than done, since 2 enemies block the way and 2 Pegasus Knights are waiting to jump anyone who gets too close. Manuela has a bit of spare time to gain some experience with faith magic. We do want her to hit level 20 and become a bishop later. Similarly, Flame practices rescuing Linhardt. The benchmark for this next warp is 28 magic, or 7 range. With this, Lysithea can get the Swordmaster in range to reach her target by turn 3. We don't want to warp her any closer, because that would draw enemies into unfavorable positions. By reaching A rank in bows, Bernadetta has unlocked the Encloser Combat Art, which freezes an enemy in place just like a gambit. By wielding a mini bow as she locks down that Armor Knight, she also provides a gambit boost that brings Seteth's accuracy here to 100%. We're saving her second stride for later.
Not quite ready to die.
It's time for Claude to mount up again and repeat his gambit from earlier. Between hit plus 20 and Adjutant Hilda, he's having no trouble hitting those. The main reason we fed Hilda Adjutant experience in Part 1 was so that she could reclass into Pegasus Knight and provide Claude with her linked attack bonuses. Again, movement +1 is what allows Marianne to achieve this stance. She's now within onager range, so she will have to dodge that on enemy phase. Speaking of enemy phase, Claude is prepping for one of his own by weighing himself down with a steel shield. There's no way around killing these two Pegasus Knights, but we want to avoid the scenario where we double crit the Fortress Knight. With the steel shield and fail not, Claude will not double. Thanks to Fallen Star, he will avoid the second flyer and kill on retaliation. Now is a good time to talk about how Alois is leading the left side defense. We recruited him in Chapter 12, and immediately trained him in armor to make his Fortress Knight certification easier. That gives him 27 defense to start, and he gains 1 more from a time skip auto level. The Silver Shield gives him 4 protection, the Alliance Wyvern Company gives him 3, and Flame gives him 3 more with her ability Lily's Poise. This gives Alois an effective 38 protection, and his Guard Adjutant Felix reduces damage slightly from follow-up attacks. All of this defense allows Alois to apply Impregnable Wall to his allies without worrying about dying himself. The healers give him the sustainability to do his job for multiple turns. Manuela in particular can silence the one mage that would target Alois' weaker resistance. It's all very synergetic. This onager does threaten to kill Marianne if it hits. It's a weak point of this strategy. Let's get the routine stuff out of the way first. We wall up, and we heal. Back on the right side, Bernadetta benefits from her low strength. Her mini bow and closer can't kill the Pegasus. We can get out of range of the Northern Armor Knight, but Claude isn't around to lock down these forest enemies anymore. Instead, we take advantage of the classic archer weakness by boxing this one in. Annette even gets to poke him for some weapon EXP, not that it matters. Bernadetta will be the one to take a heavy hit this turn, which is briefly shown. There's no real need for Seth to rally her defense, but since Marianne is around to refresh him anyway, there's no downside. Claude has lured one of the enemies out of the Swordmaster's way. Byleth gets to use a more forceful lure to complete the job. Fail Not even allows Claude to provide a gambit boost from 3 tiles away. Our Master Tactician dodged the Fortress Knight last turn. If he hadn't, he would use an elixir here. I believe the reason he unequips is to encourage that enemy to use a regular attack on him rather than a gambit. Seth doesn't have a particular job here. With a javelin, he could have chipped the grappler for more lance EXP on his route to Swift Strikes. Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report on this enemy phase. Everything goes according to plan, with virtually no risk.
We're prepared for the fire attack. You can't...
The trap is sprung, but we're not concerned with the immediate effects. Rather, we are now allowed to proceed to the next phase of our plan. If we attack the boss, Randolph, then on the following enemy phase, the objective will change, and he will become aggressive. I repeat, on the following enemy phase. Killing Randolph now will not end the map, it will just make us very sad. As a boss, Randolph would normally move before any other enemies, but the reinforcements supersede that order. This means we'll have to defend against a few more attacks with Alois and company. Once they're all set, Lysithea warps Bernadetta and her stride gambit forward. Annette and Marianne will poke fun at the archer just a bit more.
I'm gonna haunt you if I die.
With stride in play, it's time to bring it home.
Well done.
We'll be enemy phasing Randolph with Claude, making use of another fallen star to guarantee our leader's survival. The risk here is a premature crit. If that occurs, we can Divine Pulse and burn different RNs with Annette, Marianne, and Sedith. Once we succeed, a second lure from Byleth accomplishes 4 things. It moves Randolph next to Claude, it freezes him in place, it disables his own gambit, and it stops the reinforcement paladin from targeting Claude. We're just about through here. Sedith, make it quick.
A total loss. We can't just return home like this. Teach, look out! They're after your head!
And there it is. Mission adjusted.
Piece of cake. Mother, please. I'm so... More battles means more strength.
Not bad, Claude. Not bad at all.
I still...
Those Imperial troops are really something. Looks like we'll face a lot of resistance in the future.
Claude wraps up Chapter 14 with 3 kills. I'll see you for Chapter 16 next. Take care, everyone.